The most relaxing facts about medieval castles and their secrets. Hello guys. Today we will know about the quiet lives lived within and around the stone walls of a 14th century castle. We shall breathe slowly together as we explore the shadows of the past. This narration is meant to help you relax, to help you drift into a deep and peaceful sleep. There is a small secret in the way the stones hum at night, a quiet mystery in the way the dust settles in the great hall. But there is no need to hurry. We have all the time in the world. Let the weight of your blanket settle as we step back into the year 1350. The castle stands upon a hill. It is a gray giant against a purple twilight. The air is cool and smells of damp earth and wood smoke. Ordinary people are finishing their long days. The sun has dipped below the horizon, leaving only a soft glow upon the battlements. We walk slowly toward the gates. The ground is uneven. The grass is soft and wet with evening dew. Listen to the silence of the stones. They have stood for 100 years. They will stand for 100 more. You are safe here, in the stillness of history. The streets leading toward the outer bailey are narrow. They are paved with rough cobbles and packed dirt. In the evening fog, the edges of the buildings seem to blur. There are no bright lights here, only the faint, flickering orange of a tallow candle in a window or the dying embers of a hearth. The fog clings to the stone walls. It muffles the sound of our footsteps. Every step is heavy. Every step is slow. The world is turning gray and soft, and you are becoming very, very tired. The houses of the workers are small. They are huddled together for warmth. They are made of timber and wattle, plastered with clay and straw. Inside, a small fire burns in the center of the room. The smoke rises slowly toward a hole in the roof. It smells of oak and peat. The walls are dark with soot, but the warmth is honest. The floors are covered in rushes, dried grasses that crunch softly underfoot. The people inside are resting. Their work is done for the day. The hearth is the heart of the home, and it is fading now. The beds are simple frames filled with straw mattresses. The wool blankets are heavy and coarse. They keep out the chill of the stone walls. An ordinary family sleeps together for warmth. The rhythm of their breathing is steady, slow, and deep. The children are tucked in, their small hands resting on the wool. There is no noise from the outside world, only the wind whispering through the eaves and the occasional crackle of a cooling log. Everything is settling. Everything is quiet. In the morning, the light arrives slowly, a pale gray light that filters through the mist. The first meal of the day is simple, a thick slice of coarse dark bread, perhaps a small bowl of pottage, which is a porridge made of oats and peas. It is warm and filling. There is no rush to eat. The wooden spoon clicks softly against the earthenware bowl. The steam rises in the cool air. It is a quiet start to a long day. The taste of the grain is earthy. The water from the well is cold and clear. The clothing of the common folk is plain. It is made of undyed wool and linen. The colors are the colors of the earth, browns, grays, and dull greens. The fabric is thick and honest. It has been mended many times. It smells of sheep's wool and lye soap. A tunic is pulled over the head. A leather belt is fastened at the waist. The movements are slow and deliberate. There is a certain comfort in the weight of the wool. It protects against the damp air of the castle walls. Outside, the work begins. It is a world of manual labor, of slow, repetitive movements. The blacksmith is at his forge, but the hammer falls with a rhythmic thud, not a clatter. The bellows sigh as they push air into the coals. The glowing metal is worked with patience. There is no hurry in the heat of the fire. The apprentice watches the sparks fly. His eyes are heavy with the warmth. The iron is shaped slowly, one strike at a time, until it is right. In the fields just beyond the castle walls, the farmers are tilling the soil. The wooden plow is pulled by slow, heavy oxen. Their breath clouds in the morning air. The soil is dark and rich. It turns over in long, satisfying clods. The birds follow the plow, hopping silently across the damp earth. The farmer walks behind, his boots sinking slightly into the mud. He does not speak. He only watches the furrow. The world is wide, and the work is steady. The castle itself is a hive of quiet activity. The laundresses are down by the stream. They scrub the linens against flat stones. The sound of the water is a constant, soothing rush. The soap is made from wood ash and fat. It bubbles white against the gray stone. The wet cloth is heavy. It is wrung out with strong, tired arms. The linens are spread over the bushes to dry in the weak sunlight. They smell of cold water and fresh air. Inside the kitchen, the stone floors are cool. Huge iron pots hang over the fires. The cooks move slowly through the steam. They are chopping root vegetables, carrots, leeks, and onions. The knife makes a soft thud on the wooden block. Thud, thud, thud. A large side of venison roasts slowly on a spit. The fat drips into the pan below with a gentle hiss. The smell of roasting meat fills the halls. It is a heavy, comforting scent, a scent of abundance and rest. The children of the castle help where they can. They carry small bundles of firewood or lead the goats to the well. They attend small lessons taught by a local clerk. They sit on wooden benches, tracing letters in the dust or on wax tablets. Their voices are low as they repeat their prayers. They are learning the ways of the world, but the world is small and safe. The stone walls protect them. The thick shadows embrace them. They are growing up in the slow rhythm of the seasons. The market in the Lower Bailey is a place of quiet trade. There are carts filled with hay and small wagons carrying barrels of ale. The horses stand patiently, their heads bowed, their tails switching slowly at the flies. The merchants speak in low tones, bartering for salt or wool or iron nails. The clink of a copper coin is a sharp, bright sound in the heavy air. The smell of dried herbs and salted fish lingers near the stalls. It is a busy place, but the pace is never fast. A carter moves his wagon through the narrow gate. The wooden wheels creak and groan. The sound echoes off the high stone archway. It is a slow, rhythmic groan, like the castle itself is breathing. The stones are cold to the touch. They are rough and weathered. If you press your palm against them, you can feel the age of the earth. The wagon passes. The sound fades, and the silence returns to the gatehouse. The guards lean on their pikes, watching the shadows lengthen In the afternoon, the sun begins to move behind the high towers. The shadows grow long and blue. The stonemasons are finishing their work on a new chapel. They use iron chisels to shape the limestone. The sound is a soft, metallic tink, tink, tink. It is a meditative sound, a sound of precision and patience. The dust from the stone covers their hands and clothes. It looks like fine white flour. They wipe their brows and look up at the sky. Another day is folding into the past. The castle garden is a place of herbs and silence. Lavender, rosemary, and thyme grow in neat beds. The scent is thick and sweet. It relaxes the mind. A monk walks slowly through the paths, his robes brushing against the plants. He is gathering leaves for a healing tea. His movements are fluid, like water. He knows every plant, every leaf, every root. The garden is a world of green shadows and quiet growth. It is a place to breathe and to forget the world outside. The great well in the center of the courtyard is deep. The water far below is black and still. The chain rattles softly as the wooden bucket is lowered, down, 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 until it hits the water with a distant splash. The winding of the handle is a slow, rhythmic task. The water that comes up is freezing cold. It beads on the side of the wooden bucket. It is the lifeblood of the castle. It is pure, and it is silent. The person drinking feels the coldness spread through their body, calming them. The laundry is brought in as the air cools. The linens are now dry and stiff. They are folded carefully by the fire. The smell of the sun is trapped in the fibers. The women sit on stools, their backs aching slightly, but their hearts are light. They talk of small things, of the growth of the garden, of the health of the children. Their voices are a low hum, a background noise that lulls the spirit to sleep. The fire is the only light now, as evening returns. The castle prepares for the night. The great wooden doors are heaved shut. The iron bolts slide into place with a heavy, final thud. The castle is a sealed world, a safe haven. The torches in the corridors are lit, but they are spaced far apart, leaving long stretches of soft, velvety darkness. The smoke from the torches curls toward the vaulted ceilings. It looks like ghosts dancing in the rafters, but they are kind ghosts, the ghosts of memory. The meal in the evening is taken in the hall, for the commoners. It is more bread and perhaps a piece of cheese. The cheese is hard and salty. It must be eaten slowly. The ale is weak and cool. It is served in wooden mugs. The sound of drinking is a soft gulping. The sound of eating is quiet. People sit on long benches, their shoulders slumped with a good kind of tiredness. The day was long, but the work was honest. And now, there is rest. The dogs lie by the hearth, their paws twitching as they dream of the hunt. They are large, shaggy creatures with gentle eyes. The warmth of the fire makes their fur smell of earth and heat. They are a part of the castle family. Their breathing is heavy and synchronized with the crackle of the flames. Occasionally, one will sigh and shift, its claws clicking softly on the stone. The firelight flickers in their eyes. They are at peace, and so are you. The stairs leading to the sleeping quarters are made of solid oak. They are worn in the center by thousands of footsteps. They creak under the weight of a body. A slow, groaning creak that speaks of history. The banister is smooth and polished by a century of hands. The air in the stairwell is cooler. It smells of stone and old wood. Each step takes you higher, away from the world, and closer to the stars. Each step makes your legs feel heavier, and your eyelids flutter. In the small rooms, the straw is fluffed for the night. The wool blankets are pulled up to the chin. The windows are small, just narrow slits in the thick stone walls. You can see a single star through the gap, a tiny, pulsing point of light in a vast, black sky. The wind hurls itself against the stone, but it cannot get in. The walls are 7 feet thick. You are held in the embrace of a mountain of rock. Nothing can disturb your rest here. The secrets of the castle are quiet things. They are the marks left by the masons in the hidden corners. Small crosses or stars carved into the stone. They are the hollow spaces beneath the floorboards where a silver coin might be hidden. They are the whispers of the wind in the chimney. The castle remembers everyone who has ever lived within it. It holds their stories in its shadows, and tonight, it holds your story too. It tells you that the day is over, and it is time to let go. The night watchman begins his rounds. He carries a small lantern that casts a long, swinging shadow. His footsteps are slow and rhythmic. Clump, clump, clump. He walks the battlements, looking out over the sleeping forest. The trees are a sea of blackness. The moon reflects off the river in the valley, like a silver ribbon dropped on the grass. The watchman is not afraid. He knows the night. He knows the silence. He is the guardian of the dreamers. He passes the stables, where the horses are huffing softly in their sleep. The smell of hay is overwhelming and sweet. The horses lean against the wooden partitions, their great bodies relaxed. The stable boy sleeps in the hayloft above, his head resting on a sack of grain. He is warm. He is safe. The horses are his friends. The rhythm of their breathing is like the tide of the sea, coming in and going out, slow and steady. The castle library is a room of parchment and dust. The books are bound in heavy leather and locked with iron clasps. The ink smells of oak gall and iron. The pages are thick and creamy. If you were to turn a page, it would make a dry, whispering sound, like a secret being told. The knowledge of the world is sleeping here. The words are frozen in time, waiting for the morning light. But for now, the darkness is enough. The stories are at rest, down in the cellars. The air is very still. The barrels of ale and wine sit in long rows. The moisture on the stone walls sparkles like diamonds in the dark. The temperature never changes here. It is a constant, cool embrace. The earth is all around. The roots of the trees above are just inches away through the rock. It is the deepest part of the castle, the most silent part. It is the foundation of everything, and it is solid, and it is still. The birds in the eaves have tucked their heads under their wings. The swallows and the swifts are silent. The only sound is the occasional hoot of an owl from the woods. A long, mournful sound that carries through the cool air. It is a lonely sound, but it is beautiful. It marks the depth of the night. It tells you that the world is wide, and you are a small, safe part of it. The owl flies on silent wings, a shadow against the moon. The castle clock, if there is one, is a simple sundial or a water clock. But at night, time is measured by the burning of a candle. The wax drips slowly, forming strange, frozen shapes. The flame is small and blue at the center. It does not flicker, for the air is still. The candle is a tiny soldier against the dark, but soon, even the candle will be extinguished, and the darkness will be complete, and the darkness will be kind. The ordinary people are now deep in their slumber. The blacksmith, the laundress, the cook, the farmer. Their dreams are simple dreams of harvest, of warm bread, of the faces of their children. They do not dream of glory or gold. They dream of the earth and the sky. Their bodies are heavy with the weight of sleep. Their muscles are loose. Their minds are quiet. The castle holds them all, like a mother holding her child. You can feel the coolness of the stone in your own bones now. You can feel the softness of the wool against your skin. The world of the 14th century is not a world of noise. It is a world of texture and scent and slow movement. The modern world is far away. It does not exist here. There are no engines, no wires, no lights. There is only the stone, the fire, the wind, and the deep, deep night. The fog has now covered the entire valley. The castle looks like it is floating on a white cloud. The towers are islands in the mist. The drawbridge is up. The moat is a circle of black glass. The water does not move. The reeds at the edge are frozen in the stillness. Everything is waiting. Everything is pausing. The world has caught its breath, and it is holding it for you, so you can fall, and fall, and fall into sleep. The secrets of the stone are yours to keep. The way the moon hits the arrow slit, the way the rushes smell at midnight, the way the heart beats slower when the fire goes out. These are the facts of the castle. These are the truths of the past. It was a hard life, but it was a quiet one. A life of the senses, a life of the seasons, and as the seasons turn, so do we turn, toward the pillow, toward the dream. The narration is slowing now. The words are becoming sparse, like the last leaves on a winter oak. The rhythm is the rhythm of a heartbeat, soft and slow. The stone walls are closing around you, not to cage you, but to protect you. The gray towers are watching over you. The history of 1,000 years is whispering, "It is okay. It is time. The day is done." The heavy iron key is turned in the lock. The last torch is dipped into the water. The hiss of the steam is the last sound you hear. The darkness is a warm blanket. It is a thick, velvet curtain. There is nothing left to see. There is nothing left to do. The ordinary people are gone. The castle is a shadow, and you are drifting, drifting, on a sea of soft gray mist. The cobbles are cold. The hearth is gray. The wool is warm. The night is long. The stars are distant. The wind is a sigh. The stone is eternal. The rest is deserved. The work is finished, the bread is eaten, the well is still, the gate is shut, the forest is black, the moon is silver, the dream is beginning, the silence is total, the stone is cool, the air is still, the breath is slow, the mind is quiet, the time is now, the sleep is deep, the castle waits, the night remains, softly, slowly, quietly, peace, rest, now. The most relaxing facts about medieval castles and their secrets. Hello guys. Today we will know about the inner workings of a great stone fortress. We will look past the armor and the battles to see the quiet, steady life of the people who kept the castle breathing. This narration is designed to help you relax, to help you let go of the day and find a deep, restorative sleep. We are traveling to a specific castle in the year 1360. It is a place of thick limestone and heavy oak. There is a gentle mystery in the way the wind whistles through the arrow slits, but it is a soft sound, a lullaby of the past. Breathe in the cool, damp air of the courtyard, and let your eyes grow heavy as we begin. The castle we visit is surrounded by a wide, still moat. The water is dark and deep, like a mirror of the night sky. The drawbridge has been pulled up, its massive chains resting in the silence of the gatehouse. You are safe inside these walls. No one can reach you here. The world outside is distant and muffled, as if wrapped in a thick wool blanket. We walk slowly across the inner ward. The ground is a mix of packed earth and flat stones. The moonlight catches the edges of the well, where the water is cold and hidden. The great curtain wall is 20 feet high and 10 feet thick. It is a mountain of stone built by human hands. The stones were laid one by one, held together by a mortar of lime, sand, and water. If you run your hand along the wall, you can feel the chisel marks of the masons. Each stroke was a slow, deliberate act. The rough texture of the limestone is grounding. It is solid and unchanging. The wall absorbs the heat of the sun during the day and releases it slowly, like a sigh, into the evening air. The heart of the castle is the great hall, a vast room with a high, timber-framed roof. The oak beams were carved from trees that grew for centuries. They are dark with age and the smoke of many winters. A single, central hearth used to burn here, but now there is a great fireplace built into the wall. The logs are thick and heavy. They burn with a slow, orange glow. The smoke is drawn up through a stone flue, leaving the air in the hall smelling of cedar and dried herbs. The floors of the hall are covered in fresh rushes, green and fragrant. They are mixed with dried lavender and chamomile to keep the air sweet. As people walk across the floor, the scent of the herbs is released, a soft, floral perfume that lingers in the shadows. The dogs are curled up in the warm rushes, their long tails thumping softly against the ground. There is a peacefulness here that only comes with the end of a long day. The flickering firelight dances on the tapestries, creating a world of silent movement. The tapestries are thick and heavy, woven from wool and silk. They hang from the stone walls to keep out the chill. The scenes depicted are of quiet forests and the slow growth of the vines. They are not just art. They are layers of warmth. The fabric softens the acoustics of the room, making every voice a whisper, making every footstep a gentle thud. The colors are faded, soft matters, deep indigos, and the yellow of weld. They are the colors of sleep in the kitchens, located in a separate stone building to protect the hall from fire. The work is winding down. The great iron cauldrons are being scrubbed with sand and water. The cooks move with a practiced, slow rhythm. Their arms are strong from kneading the heavy dough for the morning's bread. The smell of the bakery is thick and comforting. It is the scent of grain and yeast and wood ash. The ovens are still warm, radiating a gentle heat that makes the kitchen mice bold and quiet. The pantry and the buttery are cool, dark rooms. The buttery is where the barrels of ale and cider are kept. The wood of the barrels is smooth and damp to the touch. The sound of the liquid sloshing inside is a low, rhythmic gurgle. The pantler is organizing the loaves of bread, stacking them carefully on wooden shelves. He counts them in a low, melodic voice. 1, 2, 3. The repetition of his work is like a meditation, a way to bridge the gap between day and night, outside, in the workshops that lean against the inner walls. The craftsmen are putting away their tools. The cooper has finished his latest cask. The wooden staves are held tight by iron hoops. He taps them one last time. A hollow, musical sound. Clink, clink, clink. The blacksmith's forge is now just a bed of glowing embers. The iron tools are cooling on the anvil, their heat vanishing into the night air. The world is returning to its natural, cool state. The laundry is a quiet place tonight. The great wooden tubs are empty. The soap, made from wood ash and fat, sits in a solid block on a stone ledge. The linens have been folded and placed in heavy oak chests. They smell of lye and the cold water of the castle spring. The women who work here have retired to their quarters above the kitchen. They sleep on simple pallets, their heads resting on small, firm pillows filled with wool. Their dreams are as clean and simple as the cloth they scrub. The staircases of the castle are a marvel of geometry. They are spiral, winding upward through the thickness of the towers. The steps are narrow on one side, wide on the other. They force you to walk slowly, to be careful with each placement of your foot. The stone of the stairs is cool against the leather of your shoes. As you climb, the air becomes thinner and quieter. The sounds of the courtyard fade away, replaced by the soft, rhythmic sound of your own breathing. In the solar, the private chamber of the household, the atmosphere is even more still. This room is the highest in the tower. It is closer to the stars. The windows are larger here, though they are still small by modern standards. They are covered with translucent horn or parchment, letting in a pale, milky moonlight. The furniture is minimal, a heavy oak table, a few high-backed chairs, and the great bed. It is a world of wood and shadow. The bed is a sanctuary. It is a massive frame of oak, with ropes stretched across it to support a thick straw mattress. On top of the straw is a mattress of goose down, soft and deep. The sheets are of fine linen, cool to the skin, and the blankets are made of heavy, dark wool. The bed is surrounded by thick curtains that can be pulled shut, creating a small warm world within the room. Inside those curtains, the air is still, the light is gone, and the rest is absolute. The children of the household have been tucked into their trundle beds, which are pushed under the large bed during the day. Their breathing is a soft, constant hum. They have spent the day learning to ride, or learning to sew, or reciting their Latin verses. Now, their minds are empty of worry. They are held in the safety of the castle walls. The stone does not move. The castle does not sleep. It only watches and protects. The guards on the battlements are the only ones awake. They walk the allure, the narrow path at the top of the wall. Their pikes are held loosely. Their eyes scan the horizon. They see the forest, a dark sea of trees, and the river, a silver thread in the valley. The wind catches their cloaks, making a soft, snapping sound, but they do not speak. They move like shadows, part of the stone, part of the night. They are the watchers, and because they watch, you can rest. The stables are full of the sound of shifting hay. The horses are massive and calm. Their great hearts beat slowly in the dark. The smell of their coats and the leather of the saddles is a warm, earthy scent. The stable boy sleeps in a corner, a small figure in the vastness of the barn. He is warm. He is tired. He is at peace. The rhythm of the horse's breathing is like the pulse of the castle itself, a steady, grounding force. The castle garden is hidden in a corner of the ward. It is a place of order and peace. The herbs are planted in neat, raised beds, fennel, parsley, and hyssop. The scent of the mint is strong in the damp night air. The bees have returned to their skeps. The flowers have closed their petals. It is a place of growth, but a growth that is silent and slow. The garden does not hurry. It knows that the sun will return, but for now, it is content in the dark. The deep cellars are the foundation of everything. They are carved into the very bedrock. The air here is old. It has been trapped for centuries. The stone is always damp, always cool. Here lie the stores of grain, the wheels of cheese, and the salted meats. It is the castle's insurance against the world. It is a place of abundance. And because there is enough, there is no fear. The stillness of the cellar is the stillness of the earth itself. In the scriptorium, the parchments are dry and waiting. The inkwells are covered. The pens of goosequill are cleaned and laid in a row. The monks or clerks who work here have left their marks on the pages. Beautiful, looping letters that tell the stories of kings and saints. But the books are closed now. The knowledge is resting. The words are silent in the dark. The ink smells faintly of iron, a sharp, clean scent that cuts through the musty air. The castle's secrets are written in the mortar. They are the marks of the men who built it, the mason who carved a small flower in a hidden corner, the carpenter who signed the underside of a beam. These are the quiet testimonies of lives lived and work done. They are not loud. They are not famous. They are simply there. If you know where to look, they tell you that you are not alone in the timeline of the world. You are part of a long, steady chain. As the moon reaches its highest point, the castle is bathed in a silver glow. The towers cast long, sharp shadows across the courtyard. The shadows are like fingers, pointing toward the dawn. but the dawn is still many hours away. The night is deep, and it is wide. The silence is not empty. It is full of the weight of the stone, the warmth of the wool, and the rhythm of the earth. The castle is a vessel, and it is carrying you safely through the dark. The water in the moat is so still that it reflects the stars with perfect clarity. It is a circle of diamonds around the fortress. The fish beneath the surface are resting in the reeds, their gills moving slowly. The world is a series of layers: the water, the stone, the air, the stars, and you are at the center, protected by them all. There is no need to think. There is no need to move. The castle is holding you, and it will not let go. The narration is fading now. The voice of the historian is becoming a whisper, a soft breeze through the battlements. The words are like the dying embers of the hearth, glowing for a moment, then turning to ash. The stone walls are your boundaries. The shadows are your comfort. The past is your home. The 13th century is not a time of struggle tonight. It is a time of profound, unending rest. The keys are silent. The fire is low. The wool is soft. The night is slow. The stone is cold. The heart is warm. The world is safe. The dark is calm. The stars are bright. The wind is light. The rest is here. The sleep is near. The walls, the stone, the dark, the peace, the sleep, the quiet life of the blacksmith's apprentice. A night in 1360. Hello guys. Today we will know about the life of a young apprentice named Thomas, who works at the great forge near the castle's western wall. As we follow his movements, let your body sink into the softness of your bed. This narration is crafted to guide you into a state of total relaxation, to help you drift away into a deep and peaceful slumber. We are stepping into the boots of an ordinary boy in the 14th century. The air is heavy with the scent of charcoal and cooling iron. There is a quiet suspense in the way the shadows stretch across the workshop, but it is a gentle, protective shadow. Breathe in the smell of the settling dust, and let the rhythm of the castle's evening pull you down into rest. Thomas is sitting on a low wooden stool, his back resting against the rough stone of the forge. His day began before the sun. When the sky was the color of a bruised plum, his arms are heavy, a good, honest weight that comes from swinging a small sledgehammer for hours. The forge is cooling now. The bright orange glow of the coals has faded to a deep, pulsing red, like the heartbeat of the earth. The heat still radiates from the stones, warming his skin through his sweat-stained linen tunic. It is a comforting warmth, a warmth that makes his eyelids feel like lead. The workshop is narrow and long. The walls are blackened by years of soot, creating a soft, dark environment that swallows the light. Tools hang from iron hooks along the walls. Tongs, hammers, and files. They are silent now, no longer clashing against the anvil. The anvil sits in the center of the room, a massive block of iron that seems to hold the silence of the night. Thomas reaches out and touches the cold metal. It is smooth and worn, polished by thousands of strikes. It is solid. It is permanent. It is an anchor in his world. His evening meal is waiting for him in a small wooden bowl. It is a simple pottage of gray peas and onions, thickened with a handful of oats. It is not fancy, but it is warm and filling. He eats slowly, the wooden spoon clicking rhythmically against the side of the bowl. Click, click, click. The taste is earthy and salt. He has a crust of dark rye bread to soak up the last of the broth. The bread is chewy and tastes of the fields. He chews slowly, savoring the simple survival of it. There is no hurry. The fire is dying, and the world is slowing down. Thomas's clothing is coarse and thick. His apron is made of heavy cowhide. Stiff with age and the sparks of the forge, he unbuckles it now, the leather creaking softly in the quiet room. He sets it aside, feeling the lightness in his chest as the weight is removed. His tunic is made of undyed wool. It is itchy but warm, a familiar sensation that reminds him he is safe. He pulls off his leather boots, his feet hitting the cool, dirt floor with a soft thud. The earth is damp and grounding. It draws the tiredness out of his bones. The apprentice sleeps in a small loft above the forge. He climbs the wooden ladder slowly, each rung smooth under his hands. The air in the loft is warmer, scented with the dry straw of his mattress. He lays down on the straw, hearing it crunch and rustle as he finds a comfortable spot. He pulls a heavy wool blanket over his shoulders. The blanket smells of sheep and wood smoke. It is a heavy, honest weight. He stares up at the rafters, where the darkness is thick and velvety. Through a small, square window in the loft, he can see the high stone battlements of the castle. The moon is a thin silver sliver, hanging over the towers like a jewel. He hears the distant, muffled sound of the night watchman's footsteps. Clump, clump, clump. The sound is steady and predictable. It tells Thomas that the world is being watched, that he is protected by the stone and the law. He closes his eyes, and the image of the glowing coals lingers behind his eyelids. A soft, fading red. The secrets of the forge are quiet ones. The way the iron sings when it is at the right temperature. The way the water in the cooling tub sighs when the hot metal is dipped in. Hiss! Hiss! Thomas knows these sounds by heart. They are the language of his life. Tonight, the language is silence. The wind whispers through the cracks in the timber. A low, mournful whistle that sounds like a flute played far away. It is a soothing sound, a sound that belongs to the night. He thinks of the work he did today. He helped the master blacksmith shoe a great warhorse. He remembers the heat of the horse's flank, the smell of singed hoof, and the heavy, rhythmic breathing of the beast. The horse was calm, trusting the men with its feet. Thomas felt the power in the animal's muscles. But now, that power is at rest in the stables. The horse is sleeping, the master is sleeping, and soon, Thomas will sleep too. The castle around him is a giant made of rock. It doesn't move. It doesn't change. It has stood for 100 years, and it will stand for 100 more. Thomas feels small against the stone, but it is a good kind of smallness. He is a tiny part of a great, slow-moving history. The stones are his walls. The sky is his roof, and the dark is his friend. His breathing begins to slow, matching the long, slow sighs of the wind outside. The fire below has finally gone out. The last ember has turned to gray ash. The workshop is now completely dark, but it is a familiar darkness. He knows where every tool is. He knows where the door is. He knows the path to the well. There is nothing to fear in the dark. It is simply the world taking a breath. The shadows are soft, like the fur of a cat. They curl around the anvil. They hide in the corners. They tuck themselves into the folds of his blanket. In his dreams, he is still at the forge, but the iron is as soft as wax. He shapes it with his hands, making things of beauty and peace. He dreams of the sparks, but they aren't hot. They are like tiny stars falling from the sky. They land on his skin and vanish like snowflakes. The rhythm of the hammer is the rhythm of his own heart. Thud, thud, thud. It is a steady, comforting beat that carries him deeper into the dream. The night is a long, wide river, and Thomas is drifting on it. The castle is the shore, a solid, gray line in the mist. He is safe on the water. The current is slow and gentle. It takes him past the stables, past the great hall, past the gardens. Everything is blurred by the fog. Everything is soft. Everything is quiet. The world of 1360 is a world of shadows and stone, and it is beautiful in its stillness. The apprentice moves in his sleep, a small rustle of straw. His hand rests on the wool blanket. His fingers are rough. His nails are dark with iron dust, but his face is smooth and at peace. The work of the day is gone. The worries of the morning are far away. There is only the now. There is only the dark. There is only the rest. The castle holds him. The forge warms him. The night blesses him. The narration is fading. The words are becoming shadows. The story is ending, but the sleep is just beginning. The stone is eternal. The wool is soft. The dark is kind. The forge is silent. The apprentice is dreaming. The world is at rest. The time is now. The sleep is deep. The iron, the stone, the dark, the breath, the sleep, the now.